Right. So we're going on a little adventure today. We're going to do a deep dive on, it's nicknamed the ringtail cat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a cat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
So get ready for some surprises as we learn about the ringtail. We've got this essay here that's going to be our guide. And
Perfect.
yeah, right off the bat, I guess first things first. It's not a cat.
Right. Exactly.
So what is it?
Yeah, that's a great place to start because the ringtail is it's in the Procyonidae family.
Procyonidae.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which actually puts it more closely related to raccoons.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and coatis.
Raccoons and coatis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So not a cat.
Not a cat. It's got the name.
Yeah.
Definitely not a cat.
So if our listeners are out and about, let's say in the Southwest U.S.,
Okay.
where these guys are, prevalent.
Yeah.
What should they look out for?
It's interesting because they are a pretty small creature.
Okay.
About the size of a house cat.
All right.
So
pretty small.
yeah. But you would see probably first, I would imagine, that striking tail.
Okay.
Because it's got it's long and bushy,
Yeah.
and it has these alternating black and white rings.
Oh, wow.
Almost like nature's barcode.
Like a barcode.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I could just imagine that now.
Yeah.
So we're talking, like you said, the Southwest.
Yeah.
So like deserts, canyons,
Mm-hmm.
Those kinds of environments.
Yeah, they love arid and semi-arid regions of North America.
So places where it's pretty dry.
Tough to live.
Yeah. Think, like the Sonoran Desert,
Okay.
the Mojave.
Those are really harsh, places to
Definitely
make a living.
Mm-hmm.
So what do they eat out there? How do they get by? Well, that's I think one of the coolest things about them is they're omnivores.
Okay.
So they're not picky eaters.
So whatever they can get.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, if that makes sense.
Insects, small mammals, lizards, fruits, berries.
Wow. Okay.
Opportunistic.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Which, that's really key to surviving in those kinds of environments.
I can imagine. Speaking of survival, there's this really interesting thing that I read about ringtails and their connection to humans.
Yeah.
Like way back in the day.
You mean when they were the miners' cats?
Yeah. Like imagine living with a wild animal in those
right.
in those environments, right?
Yeah, basically miners would keep them as pets back in the 19th century.
Okay.
And
to keep the rodents down.
Exactly. That was their job. They were pest control.
Wow.
Yeah. Which, it just goes to show how adaptable they are,
They can go from being out in the wild to living with people in these,
Right. Totally.
Oh.
Yeah, and it makes you think about
the
relationship between humans and wildlife.
Totally.
And how it can, change,
Yeah.
I guess. And
Yeah.
but we've been talking about survival and how they live in these tough places. But these guys, they've also got some real ninja skills.
Oh yeah. They are agile.
Yeah.
Well, for one, they're nocturnal. Oh, right. So they're already avoiding a lot of predators by being active at night.
Okay, so they're coming out when all the other
The scary stuff's asleep.
is asleep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But what about if they do run into something?
Well, they have other defense mechanisms.
Okay.
One of them, kind of like a skunk, is they can release a really pungent odor.
Oh. So not something you want to get too close to.
No. Not at all.
And I'm guessing that's pretty effective.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And if that doesn't work, they are amazing climbers. Like, you would not believe how well they can climb almost any surface.
Wow.
And that bushy tail, that we were talking about, it acts like a counterbalance.
Oh, so it helps them.
Yeah, like they can make these crazy turns and maneuvers to escape predators.
Wow. So it's like it's almost like a tool to
get away from.
Yeah, it helps them balance and be super agile.
That's incredible. Okay, so we've got this creature. It's not a cat.
Right.
It lives in these tough environments. It's got this amazing tail.
Yeah.
It's got all these cool skills.
Right.
But why? Like, why should we care? What's the bigger picture here? What's their role?
Well, I think sometimes we forget about the animals that aren't.
The cute and cuddly ones.
Yeah, exactly. The super charismatic megafauna.
Right.
But ringtails, they play a really vital role in their ecosystem.
Yeah. They help control rodent populations, for one.
Okay, yeah,
It is important.
that's a big one.
And they disperse seeds through their diet,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So they're helping the plants out.
So they're part of that whole cycle.
Exactly. Yeah, they're contributing to the overall biodiversity of their habitats.
Yeah.
And I think, it's important to remember that even those animals that aren't always in the spotlight, we need to protect them too,
Yeah, because they're
all connected.
They all have a role to play.
Exactly.
Right. And their story is kind of like, it's kind of cool. I mean, it shows how adaptable they are.
Yeah.
And how resilient.
I think that's a great word.
Yeah.
I mean, they face a lot of challenges out there.
Right.
And, they're still thriving.
Yeah, which, makes you think. I mean, what else is out there?
What other hidden gems are there in the natural world, that maybe we don't know much about,
right,
but are just as fascinating and important as the ringtail.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome.
Yeah, this is great.
Wingtails. Who knew?
Oh, right. More than meets the eye.
Way more.
Definitely. So. All right.